afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another living world of darkness, rage across New York, werewolf venue. The scene starts at least on the Sept of the Green in New York. Alonna has agreed to meet with Teresa about whatever it is that they do. They're planning to get drinks possibly, but Alonna is hoping to cement connections, perhaps. So she's been walking around Sept, primarily in the veil protected areas, carrying a small metal box, looking for Teresa, knowing that eventually she'll come by.
Yeah, pretty soon you hear um, Alana will hear the faint sounds of music from an earbud playing, and there passes Teresa. She is currently listening to something on her phone. Um, Actually, Alana has acute hearing. She might be able to pick it out. Does Alana listen to artists like Kendrick Lamar at all?
As the player doesn't even know who that is, probably not.
Oh, damn! It sounds like rap.
Sounds like crap. Okay. She will attempt to intercept said guardian of the green, hopefully slowing her progress by at least stepping in front of her.
Which does definitively stop Teresa in her tracks as she gets not quite face to face with Alana, like not invading that personal space, but her presence does get her to stop. She lets a smile go. She does seem happy to see Alana and say, "Hey,
It's good to see you.
yeah, you too."
So, and she pulls out a large metal box, is the best way to describe it. It's an ammo can. Teresa's a glass walker. She probably recognizes those. She extends it out towards Teresa.
Teresa will take the other earbud out of her head, stuff it in her pocket. She'll very gently just take the box. She looks a little puzzled at what this is. She's not quite sure. However, she recognizes the box and she says, "Did you need help with a particular weapon? I didn't think you were a gun person, really."
I'm not, but that should be the appropriate ammunition for that gun you're always doting over.
You mean the handgun?
No, the big one.
Argyle. Sorry, most people don't know it as that. But how did you get a hold of
And
these?
the box is heavy. It feels like it's full.
Yeah, how did you get a hold of these? These aren't easy. These aren't exactly easy to get your hands on.
When you start throwing around a few bucks cash here and there, kinfolk are pretty willing to help out.
All right. Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that.
I'm sure you went through a lot of them down in the Amazon with all the stuff we were dealing with.
Yeah, definitely did. Definitely went through quite a bit. It saw some real nice use during the Skull Pigs attack. Although it wasn't me that was using it, that was all Felix.
It was still being put to use. But anyways, the reason I was getting it for you, it's always been my experience that when you make, when you wish to make a request of someone, you make an offering of sorts. So, especially if they're of equal or higher rank than yourself. So I brought this as an offering.
I appreciate the sentiment. Although now I'm curious as to what this request is.
When I first arrived, we had cogitated on a possibility, one that at the time didn't come to fruition. Your pack has grown and then dwindled since then, and mine has gone to carry out their duties to Gaia elsewhere. I was wondering if you might consider accepting me after whatever you feel is a safe probationary period as a member of your pack.
Way I see it, you've gotten me out of quite a few situations, and I've already done quite a few missions with you, even before we were packmates, really. Well, before this offer was extended, rather. Sorry. What I mean to say is, sure.
She smiles. Thank
With
you.
with this though, there probably are a few things that you should know.
Oh, that goes both ways.
Well, all right. I can at least give you a bit of it, although I'm sure you've gathered at least some bits and pieces. I respect you individually. I respect Saoirse individually. I respect Aiden individually. My issues with the Fianna tribe, however, those are some real issues. It's no secret here. You can probably gather by the color of my fur. I was a Fiannakin.
Aye.
And when I first changed, I was, well, I wasn't a Fianna cub for very long, but I grew up on a Fianna sect. My experiences did not paint that tribe in the best light. And I have definitely tried to be as fair as possible with giving individual members of that tribe the benefit of the doubt. So far, I've been pleasantly surprised.
Glad to hear it.
Without going into a sob story regarding my childhood and everything like that, that's more or less my thing. What was yours?
Alright, let's see, where do we start?
Oh
Uh,
boy, do we need to walk and talk?
we can if you like.
Yeah, let's. Surf and Turf doesn't like us to be standing in one place too long.
Then walk and talk we shall. Simplest things. A cunnant smell.
That's fine.
The more important thing, probably. I don't know if you ever heard about Katori and the ancestor that would occasionally manifest through him.
I've heard I heard like bits and pieces about this Screaming Eagle character. Kumba's had a run in with him.
I have something similar, so to speak. An ancestor somewhere down my line was very displeased that their line led to a metis, and whenever somebody has challenged me, I have fought with her to maintain control. If you ever see somebody challenge me and I take an aggressive stance and accept the challenge as a fight to the death, it is not myself that is accepting that challenge. It's my ancestor who either wants me to prove myself as better than the others or to be dead.
All right. How do I knock you out of that? Or how do I knock you back in?
You can subdue her, you can deny the challenge as being not valid because it was not against her. Usually that'll rile her up for a bit, but she'll eventually back off knowing that she's not going to get her way. Occasionally she'll just lash out, probably in an attempt to just get me killed anyways. Thankfully, I've managed to keep her in the back burners a couple times that people haven't thought I've done well, and they've challenged me about it. But it's a struggle. I know in my head I hear loud ranting and raving, so if I do join your pack, you'd likely hear it through the pack link as well. Old Gaelic.
It's not something I'm unaccustomed to hearing.
You're used to hearing Gaelic.
Grew up in a Fianna sept.
Wasn't sure how much of the old languages that carry over here.
Hmm. Hit and miss. Some people, some of them actually gave a shit about where they came from. I think others just wanted something to shout about.
That's sadly a fair portion of them. I try to be better than that, but can't speak for an entire tribe.
Hmm. You don't need to. You don't need to be a big representative.
Till Aiden and Saoirse arrived, I was the sole representative, it felt like, especially around Talate. His final right.
Right. Yeah, you two definitely had your issues in the past.
The fact that I see through 90% of her lies probably doesn't help make me friends with her.
All right. I know that yourself, Tapisha, and Will are looking to make a pack. It seems that I always end up in whatever conflict they're involved in. So if those issues come up, we can cross that bridge.
I've done everything I can to be peaceable, friendly, polite, courteous, kind to her. Show her that we're not all here to just take and murder her people. She doesn't care.
Mm, it. Mm, I think that myself and Final Right oftentimes have a. I think we have a bit of common ground when it comes to things like this. She may, she has heard quite a bit of stories about the the things that were done to the pure tribes by, well, damn near the rest of them. And I myself had endured it. Endured, well, less than ideal conditions under a certain tribe. And part of me does tend to empathize with that. I won't lie to you. Part of me does see where a lot of the anger and mistrust comes from. I do not agree with how it manifests sometimes at all. But I had to work to not give you the cold shoulder, for instance, just because of your tribe. I had to work to stay. I had to work to make sure that Saoirse and Aiden felt welcomed here.
I appreciate that.
I think once once Final Right starts to figure out how to set aside some of her personal emotions and really focus on the now, I think it'll help, but it's hard. It's a lot of memories and a lot of the past that a lot of people are still very angry about.
Oh, I know. And I don't blame him for being angry. A lot of bad things were done, but I can't change the past. All I can do is work in the now. And without somebody willing to listen and work with me, I can't make changes. I can't show them that I'm not that person that did those horrible things to their people hundreds of years ago.
I I noticed something when I spoke to Final Right and Tapisha. I found that they the hostility that they may at first present dies down quite a bit when it died down quite a bit when I listened to them. I think that due to their due to the reputation of the Wendigo as a whole, I think that they feel that they're going to get brushed off quite a bit for the feelings that they have. However, I found that when I just sat down and instead of try to convince or even fix and just ask and listen and take it all in, I think even if we aren't in the even if we haven't achieved full forgiveness, I think we can reach enough common ground to be able to interact at the very least and be able to have as polite as conversation as we can have given our state.
I've tried listening. I've tried talking to Katori Raya. I hardly got a word from him. She always just rages and boils. Like when her sister got her change and arrived here, she went bonkers, and all we were trying to do was help. She hated that. All I was doing was making sure she was alive and well. I didn't use any magics on her that she wouldn't have done herself.
Yeah, I vividly remember that. I'll tell you right now, as much as I say about common ground and the mm, the parallels that I think me and Final Ray can draw with one another. If that happens again, and you're my packmate, you're my packmate.
She nods.
Like, I tried to stay out of it for the most part since Stoneclaw was already there and she had it handled. Because I know if she outright swung at Kumba like that, yeah, we'd be having some words.
Oh, I remember when she did whole stuff with Kumba
Yeah.
back when I first arrived.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It doesn't help that Kumba can be a bit pushy sometimes. That is a thing he can do.
That it is.
I think he's gotten a lot better with it, though. Leagues better. I think he's doing pretty good right now.
Glad to hear it.
At the very least, no one's come to me with any issues.
I appreciate like his idealistic view of things, but he goes about trying to make them happen, just trying to force it upon people, and they have to be accepting and willing to change before they will change, no matter how much you try and force it on them.
Yeah. Oh, um, two other really big things, but they're not necessarily. It's mostly just something you should know about before coming in, for the sake of comfort and whatnot. This is a pack that has a glass walker for an alpha and a bone gnawer. And we are in a city.
Aye. I figure I'll make sure we have an apartment, say, on the east side of Sipt, between here and the river, towards Queens.
All right. Um, Whatever it is, it has to be 15 minutes away.
It's like 1 to 2 blocks, probably.
Oh, then we're fucking good. Yeah, it would be fine. I just want to make sure you're comfortable with being in the city a lot, because I know a lot of people aren't.
You get used to it after a while. I spent enough time with Savannah wandering about that
Who's
I guess I
Savannah?
should. Savannah, I suppose I should mention her too. Savannah is my mate, and she's a fair folk,
Okay,
and I'll be having an apartment probably across the hall from the Park's apartment. But I'll be keeping her.
okay. Does that mean we have to deal with face stuff?
Eh? My tribe has ancient oaths and agreements to aid him, but
Uh,
that's my tribe, not my pack.
okay. Um, I mean, if it comes down to it, we'd still get you. It'd be all we could work something out. Nah, that's something we can dance around when we come to it.
And I think she was actually there one night when you showed up. Brunette lass, bright green eyes.
Zoe Deschanel.
Aye, that's the lass.
Damn, see, I heard the way you said that. Yeah, you into this chick. She wasn't too bad. Did well for yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, so long as the veil is observed, I'm I'm not going to really worry about who you fucking. Teresa just starts laughing.
Well, and I'll chuckle. And of course, you already know about my time of the month problems.
Yeah, I remember that. That that one may be. We'll have to find ways to work around that one, especially in a city.
I tend to be able to get across into the Umbra fairly easily, so
Mm-hmm.
I do my best to avoid it. Like, tomorrow should be the new moon, so this waxing will be over, but it's always the waxing crescent of the month.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what was it? Oh, um, second thing, although it's probably not that big of a deal. Um, oh, there's also one of. Okay, so the second of three things. The second thing is part of the reason I did put a lot of effort into learning from Slatahine and Tapisha was Hummingbird is a pure tribe totem. Um,
Aye?
he's a member of Tinna's brood, actually. Um, so I did try to do my best to, well, understand the tribe whose brood my pack spirit comes from. A spirit that, without whom I probably would be dead.
That's understandable. Anaconda was from Uktena as well.
Nice. All right. Um, the last thing, although considering you've just told me about your girlfriend, I don't think it's going to matter. Um, I'm also super gay. And
I'm glad you're happy.
some people say, look, some people have fucking issues with that. I just want to get that out there so that way we don't, so that way, it's not a big surprise or something later.
Can't say that it really matters to me.
Okay, fucking awesome.
I'm sure if you and whatever woman you decide to take, if you want to have babies, there's plenty of people to get the sperm from.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Ugh.
Or you could adopt children that have lost their parents. There's plenty of those amongst the nation.
There's certainly an idea, but I'm definitely not looking for any of that right now. Okay, a nice lady maybe, but that's beside the point.
Well, what are you looking for in a lass?
I don't know. Uh, I tend to like I tend to like women of all shapes and sizes, really. Of all personalities, ethnicities, all that. I don't really have too much of a preference. Also, I don't have too much experience, to be honest. Growing up in a traditionalist sect, and when I first changed, I didn't really have too much time for any of that, since I had to catch up to all the other Glasswalker Cubs.
Aye. Well, you got time now.
Uh, I guess we'll start thinking about it. I've been kind of, I've just been kind of scoping out a little bit. Dear God, those women at the Amazon, though. Literally everybody was stopping me. I was so mad.
Why were they stopping you?
Because, oh, Teresa, you can't start a diplomatic incident because most of those kinfolk will probably claim blah, 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 blah. All that.
Who was telling you all this shit?
Lots of people, actually.
That's pretty easy to get around, you know. You say, hey, are you claimed by anybody? And they say, yes, I am. You say, alright, you have a good day. They say, no, I'm not. You say, how you doing? You want to get a drink? Yes, talk some. Get to know each other. It's pretty easy to avoid an incident. You don't just grab them and take them to bed without at least asking first.
I mean, yeah, obviously. It's just, well, me and my.
Not it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, not like you have to wait long between hello and bed, but at least make sure that you're not taking somebody else's.
I guess. I I'm generally pretty wary about my auspice. I know that Maroons have a presence. One that, hmm, I mean, Wargaru, we already have a presence. That's already kind of out there. But then being in Rune on top of that, well, I just want to make sure that I do it all. When I say properly, I don't mean in terms of etiquette. I just mean, well, in terms of not being a shitty person.
Understandable.
Either way, it's something we can figure out later. For now, though, um, more than down to get to know you a bit better, and over the next few weeks, and figure out if we want to do this. I mean, to be honest, if something had happened to Kumba or something had happened to Hummingbird, I was looking to actually join up with you anyway. So I guess it kind of worked out.
Hey, suppose it has. Funny how things work that way.
Yeah.
And now I'm here, the one without the pack.
I didn't get a chance to ask you, actually. How are you holding up after that? Uh, I know I was pretty. mm, I was pretty down once Ellie and Hotfix left.
I spent a day or so crying. Been working on getting back to normal, whatever that is. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't expect everyone to leave. Olaf hadn't even been telling us that he was leaving. Just come meet me here. And so he came and he said he was leaving. And then Decimates and Dusk left with him. And I had commitments here. I have kinfolk that I have to keep an eye on.
Right, I remember you mentioned that.
So
Well, oh,
I can't just up and leave.
I get that. You have a responsibility and whatnot. I am sorry that it was so sudden, though. That it's one thing for something like that to happen, but without any warning beforehand.
It was a bit unnerving. Won't lie.
Um, as a bit of an aside, you mentioned you were here for, well, to take care of Ken and all that. I think I told you what I was here for the first day we met, didn't I?
That was what, October last year?
Something like that. Either
Have
way,
I,
I'm fairly sure I remember it.
have I
Uh,
actually been here 6 months already?
yeah, no, I've been here for like 7, I think.
I remember you mentioning something, but off the top of my head, I don't remember what right now. I've had so much going on.
It's going to be very, very selfish, but put some respect on my name, is what I said.
Well, you're nearly an Adrian. That's quite a bit of respect.
I guess.
I respect you.
Thank you. And vice versa.
The warden respects you or he wouldn't have let you be a guardian.
I think Surf and Turf Raya made me a guardian because there weren't a lot of runes on the set to begin with. At least once we had gotten back, and the Guardian Court was pretty small.
We brought, what, 3 of them back with us?
Yeah,
You, all is Ashraya, Rattles Twigs, storms through lava, surges through lava, storms through lava. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's storms through lava. Is there anything you'll be needing? I have quite a stash of tailings.
uh, well, the basics are always good. Guys' breaths are never, never, ever turned down or unappreciated.
I have 20 of them.
Holy God, is that what you do as a day job?
28 nightshade tailings.
What the fuck?
6 war paints. Couple other tailings in there.
Well, all right. Damn, all right.
I'm working on making my second fetish.
What the fucking fuck? Oh my God.
I was told to prepare for war, so I did.
Yeah, you fucking did. Damn. Oh, well,
So since I'll probably be in the park by the time I finish the fetish, I'm gonna have to be journeying to the ancestral lands of the Fiona.
Teresa's eye will visibly twitch as she'll say, "We can handle that if need be."
I want to bind an ancestor spirit, but I need to learn their story fully first so that I can inscribe it on the item.
Right, right. And it's not possible to summon one?
I can summon them here, but I have to get a Galliard to actually get off their arse, get me a name.
Hmm.
Finding well-known right masters seems to be difficult.
I know of at least one name, but I think he's a rather controversial one.
Is that so?
Yeah, he was actually a Garu here.
Chases the storm.
No, actually. Um, despite his being, despite his being Fianna, and despite my personal problems, I heard a lot of good things. It was part of the some of his actions are part of the reason I came on down here. Um, his deed name was Unconquered Sun. He was an Arun Athro of the Fianna.
And he was a ritualist.
Ritualist. My bad. Didn't know you needed to straighten out. Thought you needed a ritualist to get the name, not the ancestor itself to be a ritualist.
I'm making an item to aid in rituals.
There was the recently passed Theurge.
And
Um,
former right master of the sept.
no, no. I'm not talking about chases. Teresa kind of, she just
He's the
kind of
only
chuckled.
other. He's the only other theurge I know who's well versed in rituals.
There was one other I heard about. She had passed by the time I got here, though.
Mab.
Yeah,
Olaf told me about her. Effectively, when I joined his pack, I was replacing her, filling her shoes.
oh damn.
At least that's what he said.
That's
I hope I did her proud.
same. May not be may not be part of the tribe anymore, but even I understand what expectations you must have had. At least how high they were at the time.
Most expectations for me have been at least twice what they were for others who aren't metas. At least before I left to come here. So I spent 2 years as a Cleoth.
Damn. Well, theurges. I know theurges take a longer time anyway. Generally, it's not always the case. I know here we. Yeah, no. When you talk to other people about here, they think you're fucking crazy.
We pump people through rank quite
Oh
quickly.
yeah, you rocket ship. Um, in both of my home seps, I've only been a Garu for a couple of years. Um, I was only at Cleith for about 3 or 4 by the time I made Fostern. Like, I'm gonna want to wait a little bit before I go for Adrian, but even if I wait a bit, that quick of a rank climb is pretty well unheard of outside of places like this.
Well, then I should let you know that I'm pretty close to being and Adrian myself.
All right. How long do you have?
Let's see. Finally got my first turn in January. So, month and a half.
Damn. You actually didn't become fostering too long after me. I became fostering in December.
I think it was around the 9th or 10th of January.
Yeah, because I remember you went through the challenge in the Amazon. I remember that much pretty clearly.
Aye.
Yeah. Shit.
Took my whole pack to get it too.
See, I feel like yours was like this grand epic quest. You see, Eric and Isaac just beat the shit out of me continuously. Oh, that's how I that's how I got fostered.
Let's see. For mine, we made our way to Amokale village. I did some investigating. Things were coming up a bit fishy. Actually, it's kind of funny that I use that term. You'll understand in a bit. And so they have one folk that speaks English. And so we're talking with her, and she brings over one of their runners. And I'm asking him questions, and he's saying that they've been making their turn ins for information and check ins so that we know that they're alright. But when he says he's been making them, nobody's had them check in. So I glance across the gauntlet and I see things are very awkward. And that's when it happened. A good half the kinfolk started being overwhelmed by spirits manifesting into the physical world through their bodies. And I saw a picture on an advertisement that looked very similar. Somebody said that it was a murloc, like these little fish people.
Teresa will make the Murloc noise. Unfortunately, Alana probably doesn't know it, so it sounds just like this really creepy noise Teresa makes.
It's kind of the sound that they made. Aye. So to cleanse them of the spirits, we barricaded ourselves into one of their huts, getting some of their kin who aren't shifted in for safe to keeping. Dusk went about summoning a rain spirit while I worked on getting the cleansing ritual ready, and that's why we made everybody dance and sing and spend time outside at the sept when it rained that day a while back down in the Amazon, because that was our tumenage to the spirit to spread the cleansing across the whole village. So the creature or the spirits all receded and formed up into one massive one, standing a good 12 feet tall, looking square and decimates eyes. It was We made quick work of it, beating it down to dissolve back into the Umbra. I then quickly bound it to a fat tail and fed it to Anaconda. We then found the source of the spirits being angry. They had tried to create a penned fishing to increase their productivity so they wouldn't have to work as hard. But it was just making the fish angry and the fishermen feel like less of a man, I suppose you'd say. So they destroyed the fishery and let the fish be free. Olaf ended up taking that kinfolk as a mate, as his third wife.
That was wife number 3 he was talking about. See,
Aye.
just trying to get my main chick number 1, but that's pretty fucking baller. I'm gonna lie. Definitely better than I got my ass kicked by 2 Garu simultaneously.
Beating up a Metis isn't nearly as exciting as beating up a Homid. You're not used to the beatings, usually.
I'm fairly used to them.
You're in the rune.
Yeah.
Or is this part of what makes you hate your sept you came from?
Um, all of the above.
She nods. Sounds like you were treated like a Metis then. That's very strange. If you'd like it, I'll have a word with him. Beat some sense into him.
Hmm. If I ever see some of them, I have a very, very good idea of what I would do. I'm not finishing that thought.
I'm not gonna ask you to. I know that when it comes time, I'll help you because that kind of behavior is not acceptable.
It's not. Although, to answer your question, well, respond to one of your past statements. One of my best friends on the set was a Metis. Scratch that. My only friend on that set was a Metis.
She nods. Look, she looks thoughtful.
Anyway, though, again, thanks for the. She'll just knock on the box. Means I don't need to run out and well, deal with all that.
You're very welcome. If there's anything else I can do for you, let me know.
Yeah, sounds good. Um, for what it's worth, I'm looking forward to having you.
She smiles. Just so you know, I'm not very good at any of those video games. Olaf tried to get me to play Grand Theft Auto. I don't think I ever accomplished anything on it.
Did you steal a car and run people over?
No.
Yeah, you probably didn't. It's all right though.
Is that what you're supposed to do? He always just keeps taking and shooting people.
Oh,
Or grabbing stuff and beating them up.
oh yeah, that's. Then you definitely did accomplish something if you did that.
That's what he did, and I never made sense of it.
I mean, there is an actual storyline to Grand Theft Auto, one that I actually very much enjoy. Anyway, but yeah, it's not. It's not going to be too much of a requirement, really. Um, being good at games, that's not what we're here for. Although they are a great way to pass the time.
Oh, you never know. You might find that Saoirse or Aiden actually might give you a run for your money on them. We do know how to have fun after all.
I get you. It's just, yeah, I kind of break the stereotype in that I really like to go out and do. Was never much of a stay in kind of person.
That's fine with me.
That being said, though, I fucking hate camping.
I'm about over it for the moment. Once in a while's fine, but 10 weeks is a bit much.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really don't miss the wilderness at all. I will do my damnedest to protect it in the wild, and I would die for Gaia. Just let me stay in my city. I will do my job here.
Right then, sounds like things will work out just fine.
Yep.
Like I said, let me know if you need anything. Tailings or otherwise.
Yeah. Um, if you need a gun made, I can do that. Teresa shrugs. Oh, if you run into any issues with technology or machines or any of that, run into something you can't fix, just hit me up. I can figure it out for you.
Grand. It's good to have friends.
Hey, you're telling me? I still got your number, right? Or did you change it?
I haven't changed it since he got me the new phone.
All
She
right.
insisted that having an old Nokia wasn't acceptable anymore.
Oh shit! That reminds me of one other thing.
Aye.
Okay, this one's going to be a weird question. This one's going to be really out there. Alana, how do you feel about Japan?
I haven't really thought much about it. It's a country and I think there's some gear there. Don't know much about it though.
Um, when my pack was first being formed, there was a well, I think you remember Reiko, or no?
No, I think they were dead before I arrived.
She, she might have been. Um, Reiko was a stargazer Arun, and she was also plotting to be in our pack as it was forming. Unfortunately, she passed during the fostering challenge, and she has a child, a Metis, that deserves to know about his mother's death. I know it's been a while, but quite frankly, I think this is something that they need to know about.
Then we'll let them know. If that means we're going to Japan, then guess we're going to Japan.
Yeah, it's just something I should, let you know about. It's not going to happen today or this week or this
It's not
month.
gonna be a it's not gonna be a 10-week trip, is it?
I fucking hope not. Better fucking not be.
Then we'll be grand. It'll be good for Saoirse. She needs to get out and travel the world. think she's done that by going to the Amazon for a week. I can almost feel her flipping me off just for mentioning that.
That's all right.
And if she didn't tell you, I was raised as the household pet. That's our history together.
She didn't like that. She does not like that concept.
That's the nice way of saying it. The truth is far less pleasant.
I don't think there's too many less pleasant ways to explain that.
Oh, I'd offer to prove you wrong, but I don't know that you want. I need you going angry bonkers at me.
I mean, to be fair, you've already given me one box of ammunition. Do you really want to give me more?
A metaphorical ammunition's different, though, isn't it?
Sure. So you know what? You're absolutely right. Let's hear it. If if you're so inclined, of course. If it's something you'd rather not talk about, I completely understand.
Alright, I was kept in a cement box in the basement, steel door. I was taken out to hunt for myself and to feed her and her kin. Her mother was a Philodox. And I really can't say that it was a pleasant experience being less than a person because somebody else made a mistake. I still remember Saoirse asking me why I stayed Fiona after that. Because you can't change things if you run away. And that's what I felt like leaving the tribe was at that point. At least for me it was.
Teresa looks like she's trying to understand that concept of all that, and she'll just. I suppose that's a way to look at it.
I was born Fiona, I was raised Fiona. Everything I knew was Fiona. I wanted them to be better, to be what I knew they could be. And I couldn't do that by leaving. There was actually a song by a black fella back in, I think, the 80s, maybe the 90s. It's called Man in the Mirror. I think the fella's name was Michael. Michael Jackson, if I remember right.
Yeah.
You know, if you want things to change, you have to be one of those that steps up to make the change. Can't expect others to change if you're not willing to. So I kind of took that as my way of thinking on it. I want things to be better, be it with my tribe or with others. I can't expect it to change if I'm not working on it, working to be better myself. Well, listen to me rambling.
Hey, I don't mind. It's interesting to hear someone else's point of view regarding it.
So how much more you got left to do tonight on your guardianship?
Not too much. I'm just about done with this patrol anyway.
I'll be down by the lake when you're done if you want to go get that drink afterwards.
I'm down.
Canast Savannah where there's a good little bar for folks that like those of the same sex.
Teresa blushes, and all of a sudden, Alonna may realize Teresa's never been to a gay bar.
It's alright, we'll make it work, class. There's a first time for everything.
Yep, yep.
And with that, Alana will start heading towards the lake, I guess.
Yep, where Teresa will go ahead and finish up her rounds for the night.
And I think with that, we can end this scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.